Okay.
All right. Welcome again to UNI International Admissions. My name is Elizabeth Atkuna. I'm the International Admissions Counselor for our Facebook lives or our lives with our students. We're going to have them monthly and just kind of discuss student experiences within on campus and in UNI and in academics. And today we have three of our amazing students who are also international student promoters. And I'll go ahead and have them introduce themselves. So your name, your major, and your country. Maso, you can go ahead.
Right, so my name is Marcel. I'm from Pakistan. I'm a third-year student here at UNI, majoring in business.
Thank you. And then Adara.
Hi, my name is Abdurrah. I'm a grad student and my major is kinesiology and sports science, and I'm Nigerian.
Hi everyone, my name is Daria. I am from Ukraine and I'm double majoring in external science and business analytics.
And then the last person will be Missy, and she'll go ahead and introduce herself and then move forward with the questions.
Yes, good morning. My name is Missy Luthold. I'm the Assistant Director of International Recruitment here at UNI, and thank you to everyone who's watching and tuning in today, and also, like Liz said, to the students. So kind of what we're going to do today, it's a little bit different than our previous Facebook Lives. They've been more informational, but this one is just going to be a little bit more conversational, just to kind of get the students' experience of what they've done at UNI, the good, the fun, all of those things. So the first question that I have for you is, what is something that you found interesting or even weird about American culture when you first came to the States? So, for example, like even my friends make fun of me how much I love ranch dressing. So, if it maybe it's a food combination, maybe it was how much we love being on time. What was something that kind of stuck out to you about American culture when you first got here? Anyone can chime in if they have something.
I remember being surprised that people cracked eggs just on the side of the bowl. Because I
Okay.
would crack them with a knife first, like you crack with a knife and then you do it. That's the only thing I can remember right now.
Yeah, that's interesting. Marcel or Adora, do you have anything?
I would say adding too much ice in your drinks.
Yeah, yeah, that is a very American thing that we like cold drinks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Adora?
I would say the temperature, like using Fahrenheit and Celsius.
Oh yeah. I still don't know how to do that calculation. Like even when you guys say, "Oh, it's this and this Celsius," I was like, I don't know if that's cold or hot, but good. So yes, I feel your pain, Adora. Liz, do you have anything? I feel like yours is that how fast we walk.
It could be that, but I'd definitely say that differences in the temperature change, and then also just kind of, I have to keep on saying switching the pounds to kgs
Yeah,
when I'm talking to people back home. So that would be,
yeah. And is it the same for like kilometers and miles too?
yeah, so
Yeah,
miles, kilometers.
yeah. Sorry guys, we're here to make it as difficult as possible, but but hopefully it helps your math skills, right? I don't know. Okay, the next question, and Adora, you can go first. So just maybe explain a little bit like why you chose UNI, how you found it, why you chose it, it can be anything that you want to share.
Okay, so I was looking for kinesiology programs, and because I have a background in exercise science, so I checked UNI and I also found out it was a D1 school. Actually, that was what made me come here, like the fact that it's a D1 school. And when I got talking with admissions, Carla was so nice, like they were so nice, and I got like contacts of people here, and it just felt like really welcoming. And yeah, that's what made me come here.
Yeah, awesome. And I mean, and like get receiving a GA, was that helpful as well?
Yes. So I'm a grad assistant right now for the Office of International Engagements, and being a grad assistant has helped me like expose me to lots of different activities and stuff. Like we have like lots of activities and stuff we do. So it's also given me opportunity to add skills to my resume and experience too. And I love working here as
Yeah, that's
yes.
awesome. Marcel, what about you?
So I chose UNI because first of all, it was pretty affordable. First things first. Secondly, they really offered me a good scholarship. Thirdly, they had a really good business program, and UNI College of Business is one of the best in Iowa and in the whole country, I would say. So these three were my major reasons to choose UNI. And fourthly, I would say, I don't know, it doesn't matter, but I did not want to go to big places like California, New York,
Yeah.
or like Texas. So I mean, I chose Iowa. It was pretty small, pretty affordable, and even if you see, it's really safe as compared to other states. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good point. Like, I think some internationals, they think it's only California and like New York City that exist. But
Yep.
I think the stuff that you pointed out is great, Marcel. Like the safety, the cost of living, and the affordability of UNI are all good things and all good reasons to choose UNI. Sure. Daria, what about you?
I would say for me personally, because I would say a unique experience, and I came from a high school exchange then to UNI, but I already knew the area, I already knew the community, and honestly, I absolutely loved it. The people that were here, just in Cedar Valley, are absolutely amazing, and I really wanted to stay there, like in this, connection. And then also my program, because in actuarial science, there's only limited amount of colleges that offer the program, and they all do it completely differently. And UNI has a really strong program that's able to prepare actuaries for succession in life. And that was really important for me in choosing college.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's awesome. So all like different reasons, which I think is great and shows like the diversity of not only where people are from, but why they choose you and I, which is great. The next question I have is, how does your experience at UNI compare to your expectations for before arriving? So, like Dora, you said D1, Marcel, you didn't want to go to an East or West Coast school. So what were your expectations of UNI? Like, were they met? Were they not met? Daria, you can go first. I know you just said that you're kind of from the area, but so maybe they met your expectations. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I was really familiar with the area. UNI also hosts a lot of different events like all state speech festivals and stuff.
Okay.
So I have come to UNI previously on multiple occasions. I was a cheerleader, so we came to Unidome for our like one of our final, I think we came to Unidome. So I already was really familiar, but would really impressed me, I would say, is the way professors talk to you and how they interact with you. Because I was really afraid that it's not going to be really a personal relationship, but here professors do truly care about you and they make sure you understand the material and you're set up for succession.
Yeah, that's awesome. Marcel, what about you? Did we meet your expectations?
Honestly, I was kind of, I mean, yes, you guys did meet my expectations, but I mean, coming here, as being an only 18-year-old guy
Yeah,
with no abroad experience alone. So I mean, I was pretty much scared to come here, but I came and honestly, I just got used to it really quickly as compared, I mean, to other internationals. I came here, I even got an opportunity to lead some groups. I mean, my active participation in clubs was a big thing. And so yeah, I would just say it has met my expectations way more than I thought it would be.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And I think you make a good point too, Marcel, about like getting connected
Mhm.
as soon as you arrive in the States and at your university and especially at UNI because it helps you meet people, can maybe fight that homesickness or that cultural change a little bit easier when you get connected to different groups and to Daria's point too, to make those connections with your professors kind of makes it more of a welcoming community. Adora,
Fun
do you have
fact,
anything? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
sorry. Fun fact, I've never been homesick. So yeah,
Really?
never been. No.
Me neither.
Wow. You haven't
Mhm.
either. Adora, have you?
Yeah, kind of. I have been homesick.
Elizabeth, do you get homesick?
A little bit,
I, I'm from Minnesota and I get homesick. You guys.
I don't, sorry.
No, I think that's good. I think that's really good, especially like
Mhm.
it's not like you can just go home for the weekend, right,
Yeah.
Marcel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's like lots of activities at UNI, like you're always engaged, so it's kind of difficult to get homesick. So I
Yeah,
can't mean, yeah, for me, UNI met my expectations. Like there's so many things, there's so many activities here to do, so many people, they're really nice here, accommodating, friendly, welcoming. And yeah, professors are very accessible here too. Like they're friendly, they want to see you succeed. So yeah, that's been my experience so far.
and what about the D1 experience? Because I know you said that you chose UNI because it's a D1, and I know that you go to a lot of basketball games, and I see some pictures of the different things that you do. So like, would you say like as far as like athletics, because obviously that's part of your program too, like was that what you expected?
Yes, I attended all the basketball games. We have like okay, so for my program, I have access to multiple programs like basketball, soccer, male and female basketball, tennis, literally all the programs, and we have opportunity for like internships, within those programs. So they help you like build your resume even while you're in the program. I think it was something recent. They just started doing that like last semester. So it's been really helpful because we have supervisors and you could do that while you're here in school. You don't have to like apply after.
Sure.
So you're offered the opportunity here, yeah.
Awesome. Well, good. And it helps when the teams are good too, right? Like the men's basketball team, like those always make the
Yeah.
games a little bit more enjoyable. Okay. This one might maybe will make you reflect a little bit more. How do you think that you've changed since coming to UNI? Anybody want to go first? It's a hard question.
I can go first, founder.
Okay, go ahead, Marcel.
I would just say that, I mean, people say, I mean, I don't, I mean, it's not my judgment, it's people's judgment that people think I've really came out of my comfort zone. I mean, I never thought I would be a president of or a leader of any group or
Yeah.
any part. But I mean, I served as the president of ISP. I was a peer mentor for ISP. I worked. I also served as a um, group leader for a global domestic orientation. So I would just say I never thought I can do these things, but I did, and getting involved as much as I can, even something that's not my field or my major, like having something in the social behavioral science department, being engaged with them, getting in the geography club, getting in the um, other parts of club as well. So I mean, I would just say I've changed a lot. People
Yeah.
say I was quiet, and I'm not. I know how to interact. I know how to make a small talk. Yeah,
Small talk, very important, right?
yeah,
Yeah, I think that's great. Like your confidence
yeah.
almost. And like your outgoing and yeah, your leadership. That's awesome.
Mhm.
That's exciting and I'm happy for you, Marcel. That's awesome.
Thanks.
Yeah. Daria, what about you?
I would say that my mindset changed about like certain things. For instance, about like grades and learning in
Okay.
general. Like I graduated like with perfect 4.0 GPA. I always had perfect grades and I really tried to like stick to that. But then coming to college, I definitely changed my mindset from, I need to get an A to I need to learn the material. And it honestly doesn't matter what grade I get at the end. Um, and I feel like that just kind of changed um I don't know, kind of what I do and how I learn. And I also think about more of an applicational basis of anything that I'm learning. And working also definitely help with it at the same time. Because, going to class right now, I'm thinking, okay, how can I use this at work? How can I,
Oh,
implement that? Yeah. And it just, I don't know, it's pretty nice. I would, it's
yeah.
different, but
Yeah, I never thought of it like that, but to kind of like remove that pressure of getting perfect grades, but instead of like learning the content and how you're going to apply it to work, and because you're working in your department right now too, right?
yeah.
Yeah, so that has to be helpful, and stuff like that. So yeah, very interesting. Change of a mindset. Very cool. Adora, what about you?
For me, it's like relationships,
Okay.
like learning, yeah, like having really good relationships with people. Like I make this joke all the time. Like maybe in some places, they say not to be friends with your coworkers or stuff, but like here we're really friendly with each other and like everyone's friends. Like, we're like family. We get along and yeah. Then another thing is like finances. Like I've learned how to better like manage my finances and just more independence. So yeah.
Yeah, look at you. You're gonna be an adult in no time. I do think that that's a lot of college students experience, like with finances, right? Like that
Yes.
you have to you have to be responsible with your money. So awesome. I'm happy for you too, Adora. That's great. Okay, then last question, and then we're gonna do one of you is gonna play a little game. But the last question is any advice you have for future international students who plan to come to UNI? Anyone can start.
I'll go again. Yeah, first things first, check your emails. Check your emails
I agree, and so
because
does Elizabeth.
because I mean I know like back home I will speak for Pakistan as well because back home we don't have that trend to check emails, but in the US in general, I think the best form of communication is being professional, is being by email. I mean, be on top, and all the professors here will be communicating with you by email. Secondly, come with an open mind because you never know what opportunity changes you a lot. I mean, as Daria mentioned before, that I mean, she had a different perspective on grades, and now she has a different one. So I know many of the internationals prefer STEM degrees, and which is good, but at the same time, they have to understand that it's not for everybody. Each and every person is different. Just don't be in a rat race. Be yourself. Live their life because in I know I mean people go for degrees that are high in demand, like accounting, computer science, cybersecurity, data science. But at the end of the day, do you really want it? Will you ever
Right.
use it? Or is it really what you want to do? I mean, I know people who done these degrees and when they are done and they're like, it was not a good choice because they've always lived in a denial that I just want to do it, but when they are in the workforce, they don't like it. So I would just say, be open to options. And one thing good about UNI is they give you an exposure of each and every department, so you can see if it's a good fit for you or not. If yes, you can add a second major, or you can change a major. I would say that. I would just this is my advice to all incoming students.
Yeah, I think that's great advice. And I don't know if it's American culture, but we really encourage people to kind of follow their dreams, right? And I know you guys have some work experience, but like in my past, like my first job out of college, I was absolutely miserable, right? I worked sales and just because I had a business degree, right? And it's like I don't want to work sales. And so it's like finding something that I did want to do. So I think being open-minded and finding something that you're passionate about, I think is a good point, Marcel. Adora, what about you? Any advice for future UNI Panthers?
Yes. So I would say to give yourself like time to adjust. Like don't like have too many expectations at once. Just go with the flow. Join as many clubs and socialize as much as possible. Academics seriously, strike a balance, and don't let it be one or the other. Like don't focus too much on just like school or too much in just socializing. Like find balance, form relationships. It's not just about school. Again, maintain relationships. Stay in touch with your family and your friends, and yeah, be yourself.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. I bet mothers out there probably appreciate that. Call your mom, right? Daria, what about you?
Um, I don't really know. I mean, like, they had really good points by now. I would say look at opportunities around you because there's so many, just the ones that campus offering, off-campus opportunities that like are available for international students. And all of that could really help you in so many ways, not only professionally, but also just overall, fulfill you as a person. And I feel like that's a great thing.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. I think I think it's all great advice. And any prospective students who are watching, if you guys have questions or, want to connect with any of these students, I'm sure they're willing to answer your questions. And Elizabeth and I are willing to do that today or after today as well. Okay. So I need a volunteer from the three of you to do a quick fire question. So it's kind of like either or. So it's like I'm going to ask you and you have to pick the response that first comes into your mind. So like if I say Taco Bell or KFC, you have to pick one as fast as possible. So who wants to do it? Mercel? All right.
Yep.
Okay, so let's see. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll see how fast you can answer these, okay? All
Hi.
right, you ready? All right.
Yep.
Piazza or Rialto?
Piazza.
Sporting event at the Dome or McLeod Center?
Sporting.
No, which Dome or McLeod?
Dome.
Dome. Morning classes or night classes?
Morning.
Spring at UNI or fall at UNI?
Spring.
College Hill or downtown Cedar Falls?
College Hill.
Meeting the Panther mascot TC or TK?
TC.
Good. Great job. I think I would argue the last answer though. TC and TK are great mascots. They scare me a little bit.
We know that.
Elizabeth knows that. Like when we see them, I'm just like, please, I'll stand over here while they're so Adora, I could never work in athletics because I think that
Yeah, I remember you said something like that. Like
they're around there all the time. So well, thank you guys. Elizabeth and I have some announcements, but we'll let you go. Thank you so much for taking the time to share your experience and your stories and your advice. We appreciate it, and I hope you had fun in telling prospective students about your time at UNI. So enjoy the rest of your day, and yeah, thank you again.
Thank you, MC.
Thank you guys.
Yeah. See ya.
Bye.
All right, Elizabeth, you're up. What announcements or reminders do you have?
Yes, so I do have quite a few announcements, and the first one would be for those of you who haven't yet submitted your financial documents, so it would be your financial certificate and financial statement, or what we call a bank statement. Please send them to us, and then you'll be able to get your I-20. Your I-20 is the document that you need to start your visa processing. Once you get that I-20, and you have applied for your visa application and you have obtained your visa interview date and paid for your service fee, please reach out to us. Email us at international.admissions@uni, or send us an email personally through my email or Mrs. email, letting us know you have a visa date, and we also are able to schedule a mock visa interview, and Missy would be kind of your mock visa interview.
Yeah.
Yes. And also the next steps as you're thinking about arriving, would like for you to submit your housing contract. Selection of the housing starts April 1st, and it's here right around the corner. And then also be on the lookout for orientation and arrival information for you as you're preparing to come. If you have any questions, again, reach out to us. We're able to guide you throughout this process up until you arrive and throughout your time here at UNI. And I'll get back to Missy.
All right, perfect. The one last thing that I have for you, it's specific to grad students. I know that there's a lot of questions and concerns about funding and scholarships. And unfortunately, we understand, the need and the want to have these decisions made, especially if your visa appointment is coming up. However, the departments are the ones that decide these graduate assistantship awards and these scholarships awards, and because of the volume of you that are interested in our grad programs, it's just taking a little bit longer than we would like. So we just thank you for your patience. We ask for more of it. And we will continue to work with departments to make sure that they're getting their funding out. However, if you have a visa appointment booked, I would encourage you to maybe move forward and assume that funding from UNI isn't going to be an option. To have a backup plan, what your plan B might be and stuff like that, especially if you have a visa appointment booked or is coming up. But thank you again for understanding and your patience. And hopefully you can still choose UNI for your graduate degree. But that's all I have, Liz. Anything else? You're good?
Yes, no, that's
All right, perfect. Well, thank you everyone for joining us today. We will have our next one coming up in April. You'll hear from a couple other students, and we'll talk more about next steps and final touches and stuff like that. But thank you again for watching. Enjoy your day, and we will talk to you soon.